Crust, you went crazy on this beat. This one for my Uncle Joey. I was young, I was young, I was young, I was young, I was stupid, I acted wild, I felt so foolish, ayy. But I was young, I was young. Don't hate for what I've done, ayy. You think I'm wrong, ayy. I think I'm right.
Alright guys, we are at the Pub Rock here for the Pariah Pete album release show. We've got Saiah here with us as well. He's in here for some moral support. We're going to make sure, we have a good conversation. We're going to get to know Pete a little bit. We're going to get to know Saiah a little bit today as well. But congratulations, bro. First and foremost,
Thanks, bro.
The Pub Rock, you just sold this out. This is your first show that you organize yourself. Am I right?
Yeah, this is a first solo show.
Okay.
So all the shows that I've done in the past were always part of 20 Pounds, the group.
Okay, yeah.
So we did Rebel Lounge in 2017, sold that out. Crescent Ballroom 2018, sold that out. And then earlier this year, for my first solo show, I did 51 West, sold that out. And then this is the first time I actually booked a venue, put down the deposit by myself, picked all the artists, doing 100% of myself.
That's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
And not a lot of artists really get into that side of things.
Yeah.
So if you could let the people know at home, what really goes into booking your own show?
Well, it's kind of easier for me just because I do have the resume and the accolades where I literally walked in here and I had it confirmed within 24 hours because he already knows who I am because I have receipts.
Right.
But it's as simple as just being communicative and just reaching out to people, sending out emails. I was originally gonna do Valley Bar for this show, but they wanted to give me a weird date, so it's you just have to continue reaching out to people until you find a place that trusts you enough to do the show.
Yeah, you gotta roll with the punches, right?
Yeah.
You gotta make sure it's all good. But so, man, I know this is your debut album as well, correct? Mercury. Yeah. This is what we're here for. So
yeah.
Tell me a little bit about how Mercury came about.
Well, it's been a long journey. So the Mercury is named after my first car ever, my 1987 Mercury Marquis.
Okay.
So I saved up for that. I paid it off for an entire year. I cherished this car. It was in great condition. I did my first music video in it. Only had 50,000 miles for a 30-year-old car. I loved it. It was my baby. And then I got hit by a drunk driver who ran a red light, who ended up getting a DUI and shit, and he totaled my car. Thank God I wasn't physically injured or anything, because my car was it fucked up, it got totaled.
Oh man.
But yeah, so all that happened, and it was far more emotionally damaging than it was physically harming.
Okay.
And that was just the start of my world kind of getting flipped on its head, because growing up I always resisted change and I always hated change. And around the time that accident happened, I was still suffering from a heartbreak from a bad relationship. I just graduated high school, so new to the adult life.
Right.
My mom moved out of Arizona, so I had no family in Arizona, and I was couch surfing for an entire year. I lived in a trap house. I ended up moving back in with my ex's parents, and then even up until this year, where the group broke up, it's just been a full twist. And this album is the way that I turned all those negative experiences into something positive.
Into a positive.
Yeah, I had a version of it in 2017, had a version of it in 2018. It's been an idea since I first got the car to name a project Mercury, just because the vibe of the car and shit. So it's been a journey, bro.
And how much different, because I know you said 2017, 2018, the conception for this album was there, but how much different is this finished product than it was?
So different. It's because I've evolved so much as an artist in such a short amount of time. I kind of, there are some songs, there are 2 songs from 2017 that I still enjoy, but the other songs from 2017 make me cringe.
Yeah. Just
because, I've developed so much, especially, just musically, my vocals have
improved. That's not you anymore.
Yeah, literally not at all. That was only, because I started posting music in 2016, so that was only, a year into it. Now I'm, 3 years into it, so, I've evolved, and I've been in situations with, 20 Pounds where I was the youngest one, I was the least experienced. So it made me evolve super quickly to kind of catch up.
You've been working, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And to go back to 20 Pounds, who all, for the people out there that don't know about 20 Pounds, who all is in 20 Pounds?
Was in 20 Pounds.
In 20 Pounds.
It was so me and Crust, my main producer. He's gonna be running the merch booth tonight. He's super behind the scenes. Him and I were the co-founders of it, and then the rappers were me, Jalopy Bungus, Shrubhead, Mastermind. Then the producers, Crust, Knowledge Nick, and Skateson.
Okay.
So
And
seven members.
for all of you out there at home who don't know, that's an accomplished list of rappers. Those guys are selling out shows as well.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing out in the Arizona scene. So can you talk a little bit? I know you had mentioned Skates and Knowledge Nick. Those are some familiar names on this project.
Yeah.
You know, can you talk about the contribution that they may have made?
Yeah, so the 3 producers of 20 Pounds did all the songs for Mercury besides one.
Okay.
So Knowledge Nick got the intro and outro.
Yeah.
Pearl and New Day. Skateson got Eyes Wide Shut and Reminisce, 2 beats. And then Crust got tracks 2 and 3, On Me and Young, 2 beats. So they all contributed 2 beats each. And then 1 beat I pulled from like the internet from like, it was a super low key beat that I found on SoundCloud. And I just reached out to the producer and I was like, yo, like, can I use it? And he's like, yeah, go for it. And then I sent him the demo. It's the song that he's on. So,
Okay.
which has been like the fan favorite, Take Your Time. Tonight, we're doing it first time. I've never performed a live instrumentation, and we're having like a live guitarist come in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dog, it's going to be fucking insane.
That's going to be a treat.
People are going to be crying. People are going to be doing all kinds of shit.
Everybody's going to be texting their exes after the show.
Dude, to be honest. But
when they see the video, they're going to be texting me.
Yeah, okay. And so we started working on the music video, which like, I don't want to expose in the interview. I'll tell you after, but it's just like genuinely, it's such a cool and creative idea that like most locals, I feel like, are not going above and beyond to like make sure they're bringing like a whole new experience with their music video. Like we're going cinematic as fuck. Him and I are acting most of it. Like I'm gonna be performing only for like 20 seconds of it. He's gonna be singing and shit, but I'm gonna be acting my role.
And that's a big thing that, you know, I haven't seen a whole lot of people doing, like you had mentioned, was that cinematic approach to a music video.
Yeah.
So what kind of gave you that idea? Was there an inspiration behind it?
Well, for this video, I'll get into that in like a second, but ever since my first video, I've worked with Garen Chadwick with like our 20 Pounds channel, like got like thousands of views, like almost 1,000 subscribers. Like all the videos were such high quality and Garen did them all.
Yeah.
So like we already set that standard of like damn near industry level, pretty much industry level music videos. So it's like now we can't go below it. So this is the first video that I'm ever working with a new director on. So shout out Shrubhead. Shrubhead and I like stayed up till like 3 a.m. just brainstorming because Shrubhead's a super visually creative like person.
Okay.
And so I brought him in to like work on the visuals for Mercury. So we got a music video for Young, which is done by Garen Chadwick, that I went out to LA to film. And then we're doing Take Your Time next. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And you know, some of the content on this album, it's really raw and it's really open. You know, not something that you're seeing every day. And it's a short, it's only 18 minutes long, right?
Super short and sweet. I had other shit in the like tuck, obviously, because I was creating it for like, I started seriously creating the Mercury that we have today in like October.
Okay.
And then I finished it in like April. So I had a lot of content in the tuck, but it's just like, I looked at these 7 tracks and like, I thought I was still working on it. And then I looked at what I had and I was like, I have the perfect 7 right here.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep it short and sweet. And I feel like, shout out Shrubhead for putting me onto this. Like one thing that I love about Earl Sweatshirt is like, for instance, his new album, he has the capability because his lyrics are so dense that he says a lot, even though it's a short amount of time.
Okay.
And I feel like Mercury is that same way where it's only 18 minutes, but like after that 18, like all you need is that 18 minutes.
Right.
Like, you didn't need an 8th track. Like you didn't need nothing. Cause like the album flow, like you figured out like damn near everything that's going on in my head right now.
I agree. The first time I listened to it, you know, I went in with an open mind and I didn't know what to expect, but I listened to it and, you know, you talk about love, you talk about lost love, you talk about depression, thoughts of suicide, talk about having a 9-to-5 job. I mean, there's a various amount of subjects on there, man. And so was that hard for you to kind of open up and get all that into the album?
So it kind of happened like unconsciously just because like at that time period where I started creating it, and for the majority of the songs were written while I was still couch surfing and living with my ex's parents. So like after a year of not having your own bed, your own like fucking home that you could go, like I would go home every single day to my ex's parents and feel weird walking in. Like even though they loved me, even though they showed me how to love and they gave me a room, like I still felt weird.
It just wasn't yours.
Yeah. And it was like I moved backwards, you know what I'm saying, in time. But so I did that unconsciously just because I was going through so much that like I didn't like set up and be like, yo, Mercury, like I'm about to be super vulnerable and open and shit. But it was like, it just happened because the shit that I was going through, I needed to write it out.
Right.
And then I didn't even like notice that until I like structured the album and I started playing it for homies like Skates and Shrubhead. And I was like, dude, this is like a really open, like
I'm getting deep with it.
Not even that. Like I was scared to put some of these lyrics out there
Okay.
because it's just like so vulnerable. Like
I could see it, bro. You know, it's hard to pour your soul into the music like that and be able to give it to people and package it and the thing that you accomplished as well, you made it sound good on top of just, you know, the rawness of it. You made some bops that people are going to listen to in the club. People are about to turn up at this concert tonight.
Absolutely, bro. And that's always been my biggest thing ever since I started music, which like shout out Kendrick for being like the biggest inspiration to me. Is he creates great music with substance.
Absolutely.
And like there are so many other rappers that I could list who also make like musically good songs but with substance, but it's just like Kendrick's always been like my number one rapper for that reason, and that's like something that I feel like that's just like how I make music. Like I'm lyrically super dense, but I still like to do songs that people could like chant at the show or fucking whatever. And like, yeah.
Absolutely. Shout out Kendrick. So would you say that Kendrick is one of your biggest inspirations? You mentioned Kendrick, you mentioned Earl. You know, who are your inspirations in the game right now?
Kendrick, Earl, fucking Mac Miller, Kid Cudi. Dude, I love
Rager.
I love Kid Cudi, bro.
Hey man,
I'm always so bad at like naming it off the top, but like recently, like the God Fahim, he's like a super underground artist.
Okay.
He's dropped 100 mixtapes in 1 year, and like my whole thing is like he inspires me because his work ethic is crazy.
Absolutely.
And he be like freestyling a lot of his shit, so it just sounds so raw, super boom bap, and like not musical really. Like he has choruses and shit, but it's more so about like the bars. Yeah, I mean other people, I'm always bad at naming off top. Lucky X. Yeah, that's all I could think of right now. Smino, Smino.
Smino is cool.
He knows,
bro.
He listens to Smino every day.
He was getting annoyed because at the like merch photo shoot from like the shirts that I'm debuting tonight.
It was an hour long with Smino. I was like, I can't take this.
Reach. It was like 35 minutes.
It's still long,
bro. Honestly, you know, not a lot of people are on Smino yet. But I went to his concert not too long ago at the Crescent Ballroom.
Hell yeah.
And that man
dude, I wanted to go to that so bad. Earth Gang and live instrumentation. Fire.
Killing it. Yeah, it was beautiful. So that, you know, when you say that live instrumentation, that just makes me excited for this tonight,
dude, I'm super hyped. I'll show you a clip after the interview, like the way that the dude did the guitar, he just like puts it in an amp and it sounds so dreamy, and like live instrumentation always just like if you could feel it, like you could feel it in your soul during the show. So it's like I'm so hyped to do it for the first time ever here for Take Your Time with Saiah, because that's been like the fan favorite off the album. So.
Absolutely, bro. So talk a little bit more about that. What's next for Take Your Time? I know you guys are getting into the music video. You know, do you have plans? Is that the lead single at this point? What would you say?
I mean, I wouldn't say lead single because like I dropped it together as a package.
Right.
But it's just been like a fan favorite for like girls and guys. Like people just like really vibe to that song. But what's next after that? Music video, who knows, maybe more collaborations, maybe a little EP or something.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You might get a joint EP.
We could high key cook up like a 4-track EP in like 4 days or two. Like we just need the beats.
The people want it.
I was actually thinking about it last night. That's why I like tweeted at you for the one song, Aura. I was like, this is classic, because I was just like going through SoundCloud. Because like if we do that, I want to go like super like lo-fi, like love, like completely about like Take Your Time ×4.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
four
like,
Take Your Time's a little bit of a variation.
Yeah, but like obviously that wouldn't happen. Because,
right.
Like, we're not gonna be feeling that mood every single day. But I mean, him and I would kill a joint like EP for sure.
Let's get it, bro. But the people need it. So, tell me a little bit about. You know, I know Saiah is obviously one of your frequent collaborators. Do you have any other frequent collaborators out there, or anybody that you're looking to collaborate with in the future?
I mean, I respect a lot of the locals out here.
Yeah.
But my whole thing about collaboration is like, which is why I stopped like, because I used to charge people for features, but like I've done so many features where I charge them, and it's like now on my Spotify, and like I don't really like it that much.
Okay.
And so my whole thing about collaborating is like it has to be more than like musical. Respects. Like for instance, like I respect like so many people out here. Like I'm inspired a lot by our local scene. So many rappers out here. But like the thing about like collaborating to me is like we kind of got to be like friends and shit. Like
absolutely.
For instance, like I reached out to him to be on this track because we like talked through social media before. We may have like met once or twice, but he like ended up like buying a ticket from me for the AZ Hip Hop Festival last year. And when I dropped it off, we just like talked for like 30 minutes, and I was like, I fuck with this dude's energy. And then I wrote this song like a week later, and I was like, he would be the perfect vocalist on this song because it already has like his vibe to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
it has to be more than just like musical respect and like chemistry. It has to be like that actual friendship. So it's like more raw. But yeah, I mean, I collaborated with everyone in 20 Pounds, obviously, because that was my group. So
Yeah, absolutely. So you know what can we look forward to from you in the future? I know tonight we have the show. Are you thinking about touring across the country? What does that look like?
I mean, that would be super lit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've been like checking like my Spotify like map shit, and like my fan base in LA has been growing, and then I have like a random fan base in fucking Minnesota. Just,
Okay.
Like,
Hey, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Minnesota girls, man.
Minneapolis and fucking St. Paul or whatever.
Exactly.
And I'm like friends with like 15 people from over there that I've never met in person.
Okay.
But it was one dude, shout out Michael, that found my first song ever and commented. He was like, "Yo, why do you not have more music?" And then he added me on Facebook, and ever since then he's been like, he was my first like actual fan that I did not even know.
Okay, so he's putting you on in Minneapolis.
Yeah, dude. Literally, there are like 10 people who have reached out to me like, "Yo, I heard about you from blah blah blah," or his ex-girlfriend, and then she's been putting people on. So it's like, yeah, it's dope. But a tour would be amazing. I think more realistically right now would be like an opening slot.
Okay.
Which, like, dude, if that happened, I feel like I'd take off because I'm so confident in my performing ability.
Yeah.
And when I opened up for Xavier Wolf, like, I left the venue with like 50 new followers. And so if I were doing that, like, multiple stops,
yeah,
like, and I would like, yeah, dude, I feel like I'd take off if I did that.
Yeah,
or not take off, but like take massive
elevate.
stuff.
So tell me a little bit about the live performance, because it sounds like you take a lot of pride in that. You know, you talked about the instrumentals, the live instrumentals. You talked about bringing the energy, you know, for those performances. What goes into this for you?
I just black out when I go up there, to be honest, and I don't know. I just know I know I do what I do super well. Like when it comes to the live shit, like my stage presence is like unmatched. Like my crowd control, my crowd interaction. And then, like, I'm also not up there, like, trying to, like, front, like, oh, I'm fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm, like, literally, like, I'm just a human, bro. I just know how to... I'm super introverted by nature, but, like, when I get on stage, I just black out, bro. I just turn into Pariah Pete at that moment.
That's your time. That's time to take on the persona of Pariah Pete. You know? Yeah. You're not Pete chilling.
It just happens, bro, because I think I just feed off people's energy, too. Because I've done some shows where, like, people were just like kind of chilling back and like not really paying attention, and like I would kind of adjust to it. Like I'd still put on a good show if someone's watching, but it's not like I'm gonna be going crazy. But if the crowd's going crazy with me and I feel the energy like rising, I'm just gonna match their energy the whole time. You
got to know your audience. That's really important, bro. So, you know, given all this, I'm ready. You know, ready to see the live show. Ready to see what's gonna go on tonight. What performers are all performing tonight?
So Splash Fuego, Catman's Q, 2 kids from like Mesa, super dope. They turn up every function. I've never seen them put on a mediocre performance. They always do a great job. So I'm putting them up first so that they could just start with a punch in the face.
Okay, come out with a bang.
Yeah, and then the homeboy Snotty Man, who's just like super like well-rounded musician, rapper. And then after that, Siren and Shrubhead. So Shrubhead from 20 Pounds. Old 20 Pounds, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And then his girlfriend, Siren, are sharing a set. She's like an R&B artist.
Okay.
And he's a rapper. And then after that, Cafe Pico, who just does a great job performing, good crowd control, good presence, all that shit. And then me headlining, of course.
Absolutely. Perfect, man. Well, I saw a tweet on Twitter a little bit earlier. It said we were going to be opening up the pit. So is that something that we can expect at the show tonight?
I mean, if people want to, for certain songs like "On Me" and "Young" are like probably the most hyped songs tonight on the set. I mean, just like be cautious.
Okay, keep your head on the swivel.
Open up that pit. Don't take your time.
All right.
Yeah, if we're gonna open up the pit, I'm gonna make sure everyone's being like respectful and shit, especially if they're like any like smaller females or just like younger people.
Always gotta
like,
watch out.
Of course.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you taking the time tonight. You know, this is going to be a great show. I'm excited to see it, excited to see what goes on for you in the future, and excited to see you on the show again. So I appreciate you taking the time today, both of you, and thank you so much. All right.
Honestly, like, I just want to let you know you're perfect. You're like a rose, and like the sunflower field, like It's crazy because like you just get off from everybody else. I don't know, it's corny and shit, but it works.
I just wanna take my time with you, spending all the time in the world with you. I just wanna take my time, baby, take your time.
I love the fact that you love to see me doing well. Always checking on me just to pick me up when I have failed. My mental health slipping, I'm just a victim of my own mind. You read me in between the lines. I love the idea of dropping everything just to elope. You and I, foreign countries drinking wine on a boat. But I hate to see you drink when you drunk, you act a mess. When I'm drunk I act